Hello everyone, that's tuning in to today's first video. Doing the extended European outlook for today's first video. So this is your 30-day / 42-day extended European outlook, and I shall get on with it for you in a moment. Just to say, there was no 6am forecast today, so I was a bit poorly with my eyes last night, probably flared up, so I stayed offline. 6am forecast should be back, fingers crossed, tomorrow. And we've got a 10 to 14 day coming up later on today as well. So please like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. For GavsWeatherVids, thank you so much, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. Right, and thanks so much to GWV.int as well. GWV.int for supplying the charts of the data too. Right, going to start off with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly taking us through next week, which is the 18th, 25th of August, or this week I should say, we're currently in, with high pressure sitting up towards Iceland and low pressure across the northeast of Europe and down across southern parts of Europe as well. Winds tend to be coming in from a north or northeasterly direction through some northern and western parts of Europe, so a slightly cooler upwind direction through there. 500 millibar height anomaly for this week is looking like this. So above average heights in the North Atlantic, a mid-Atlantic ridge extending up towards Greenland, trough across northeast Europe, and again we bring the wind in from that northeasterly direction. Okay, so the temperature anomaly is actually cooler than average across many parts of Europe this week. Big change on what we've had through what's been a very hot summer. Up to now, hitherto. So we see significantly below average temperatures through northern and northeastern Europe, between around 3 and 6 degrees below average through portions of Norway, Sweden, most of Finland, and into northwestern Russia. Also, the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania are included in that as well. Cool temperatures extending further westwards as well. So, very unusual for this summer. France and Spain actually a little bit below average. Below countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands coming out a bit below average as well, along with Germany. In those areas, we're around 1 to 3 degrees below average. We go further westwards and we find Ireland, Wales and southwestern parts of England coming out slightly below average. And then across southern Europe we see slightly above average, for Ireland, Wales, southwest England. And then across southern Europe we see slightly above average temperatures there through some portions of the Mediterranean. Around the Black Sea it's below average in many areas, but we've got Turkey and 1 or 2 of the Greek islands coming out slightly above average through there. Precipitation-wise, we look like this, so largely on the drier than average side in the far west and northwest Europe. Again, we've got the UK, Ireland, below countries, into Germany and western portions of Poland, up to Denmark, and then northwards in towards Norway and Sweden. Below average there, some parts of Finland below average too. We've got northern parts of Sweden and Finland coming out slightly wetter than average, and some areas of northern Norway a bit wetter than average as well. Going further southwards, though, we've got wetter than average conditions in towards France, and then coming down into the Mediterranean. Actually, we see wetter than normal conditions from the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, to Corsica and Sardinia, and then extending to Italy over the Adriatic into the western coast of the Balkans. Well, on either side of that, it's a drier than normal, so drier than average through Spain and Portugal, and a little bit drier than average into some parts of Greece there as well. So, it's varying from area to area. Week 2 will be the 25th of August to the 1st of September, so this week looking more unsettled into Western Europe. Low pressure parking itself towards Ireland, the UK and northern parts of France. Going northwards in towards Scandinavia, some higher pressure through there, and some higher pressure in the far eastern and southeastern portion of Europe. Lower pressure extending down through into the Mediterranean. The 500 millibar height anomaly shows lower pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. So sorry, everyone. Shows low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic into France, Ireland, the UK, and extending eastwards as well. Some higher pressure up in the Norwegian Sea, extending in towards Norway and Finland. And the temperature anomaly, well, the cooler conditions actually being pushed back into the extreme eastern portion of Europe. So Western Russia, Ukraine and Belarus around 3 to 6 degrees below average through there. Many other central and eastern parts of Europe actually coming out slightly below average, but becoming warmer out in the west of Europe. So Ireland and the UK see the temperature lifting up, but also affecting parts of northern France into the Low Countries, around 1 to 3 degrees above average for the UK and Ireland. That's probably because the low pressure is containing the remains of Hurricane Erin, and of course that's pumping warmth northwards from the Atlantic. Down into southern Europe, we've got slightly above average temperatures through the central bowl of the Med, but Spain and Portugal coming out below average, as is Italy, and some parts of Greece coming out slightly below average with the temperature anomalies. Well, it's still a relatively cool scene away from the extreme northwestern portion of Europe, actually, next week. Temperature, precipitation, I should say, looks like that. So, wetter than average through Ireland into particularly southern parts of Britain. A bit drier than average for northern Scotland, though. And also France, the Low Countries into western Germany, and down into the Mediterranean, that includes the central bowl of the Med, and Spain and Portugal. So, wetter than average conditions through there. Going northwards into Scandinavia, we find that Norway, Sweden and Finland are coming out with slightly drier than average conditions through there, with that area of high pressure, of course, close by. And then the extreme eastern area of Europe into western Russia, a bit wetter than average through that. Drier than average down into towards Greece and Turkey. Okay, well, week 3 will be the Thursday to the 8th of September. Still channeling lower pressure through western portions of Europe from Ireland to the UK, right way in towards western Russia, below average, lower pressure through there, and then down in towards Spain and Portugal, higher pressure ridging in down there. So perhaps reverting to more of a westerly type flow, if anything, some lower pressure through the eastern portion of Europe as well. 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that, with below average height centred over the UK and Ireland. Some sort of blocking signal up towards Svalbard, and we've got some higher pressure down towards Spain and Portugal too. Week 3 temperature anomaly looks like this. So, still a hint of being below average through that central sway of Europe from France right way up towards northwestern parts of Russia. We do see slightly above average temperature anomalies through Scandinavia, down towards Ireland and the UK as well. And then we've got slightly above average temperatures through southern parts of Spain and Portugal, and into central bowl of the Med. Over into eastern Europe, we've got Greece and Turkey coming out with slightly above average temperatures through there. Precipitation-wise, we look like this. So, it looks like an unsettled start to September, doesn't it? For the west of Europe, Ireland, the UK, France, the Low Countries, Germany, Denmark, just up into some parts of Norway and Sweden, and then eastwards into the eastern portion of Europe. A swathe of wetter than average conditions from the Atlantic to western Russia into southern Europe, where it's drier than average in many portions of the Mediterranean. Also Spain and Portugal, Greece and Turkey come out drier than average as well. And then going northwards, we find some slightly drier than average conditions through northern parts of Norway and up into Sweden too. Week 4 is the 8th to the 15th of September. So this week is showing low pressure again in the Atlantic through to Ireland and the UK anyway. Higher pressure down into the Mediterranean, keeping summer going there, and almost certainly bringing in a westerly flow from off the Atlantic. 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that, below average heights in the Atlantic, pushing through into Western Europe. Higher pressure towards and what am I talking about? The temperature anomaly looks like that. So, despite being low pressure dominating the far West Europe, still above average temperature being channeled though through Scandinavia and then down into either the UK, the Low Countries, Germany, probably France, Spain, Portugal, included in those warmer than average conditions. Looks like Eastern Europe is starting to become a little bit warmer as well, actually. So, a general warm up there across many parts of Europe into the fourth week, and precipitation wise we look like that, so it's still wetter than average for Ireland, the UK. Could be quite a wet start till first half of September, if that is correct. Southern Europe looking rather drier, especially so through the central and eastern portion of the Mediterranean. Okay, well, that's your 30-day look ahead done. Let's go through weeks 5 and 6 data before we go, Bo. So, week 5 is going to be 15th, 22nd of September with higher pressure through the western portion of Europe. Lower pressure is up here, maybe. Weak signal, 500 millibar heights look like that. Well, that's wrong. It's actually showing like a blocking area of high pressure between Iceland and Norway. That could send the jet stream southwards. So the temperature anomaly coming out largely slightly above average in the far west and northwest of Europe. Also, we see southern, southeastern parts of Europe coming out rather above average, in between perhaps a bit cooler. Precipitation-wise, well, very weak signal, but it looks like it's drier than normal in the southeastern corner of the bed, and maybe still hints at being a bit on the western side, just to the west of Ireland and the UK. And then week 6 is the 22nd, 29th of September. Well, actually, nothing doing there from the mean sea level pressure anomaly perspective. 500 millibar heights, again, nothing doing with that one either. Very, very weak signal. Temperature anomaly just a little bit above average, not a big deviation. And precipitation-wise, well, very weak signal. Okay, so by the time we get through the 6th week, we've basically lost a signal. But it looks like the first half of September could be quite unsettled for Northern and Western Europe anyway. We'll wait and see what happens beyond that. Right, okay, well, that's your third today. Look at it. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, and do it all over again next week. We're going to be back short with your 10 to 14 there. So come back for that in a bit. For this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.